We are here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee, cappuccino, locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about why the market is so slow, why the market is reacting so red sideways. Is there a local bottom in right now? And what can we expect in the next couple of days and weeks to come? Can we expect our altcoins to rally? Can we expect our cryptos to go up soon? Make sure to stay all the way through for this, and in the end we're going to talk a little bit about Ecomi and altcoins and so on. Look at our favorite altcoins. So good morning to each and every one of you guys. We are looking at Bitcoin again. In the past weeks, we had a phase where we could easily look at altcoins and did not really need Bitcoin. But for Bitcoin, there are a couple of things to say. First of all, we are below this resistance line here and we hit our head. So once again, which is not entirely bad thing if you're looking at this confluence line here and you're actually saying, okay, here on this daily, that's actually sitting around this level. Then you might detect some small inverse head and shoulders attempt that might break us higher, right? So that is the first glimpse at where we could go higher. Now, let's put the could go higher, could go lower point here as well, because obviously there is the potential to more downside always. And I would say it comes down to actually today, where we will get unemployment rate, because the unemployment rate will basically put the final nail into the percentage of likelihood of the rate cut, which is right now close to 100% that we are getting a rate cut in about 2 weeks. But that is also why we are a little bit slow sideways-ish here. Another way to look at this stuff is to put a trend line in here and say, we have been in a downtrend for a pretty long time. How long was that? That was when we started to go down here. And by the way, maximum extension of this dip, and it's only a dip. I mean, some people said, why are we crashing? We're not crashing. This is a dip. We are at 13.8% to downside. And this was about 18 days of correction, right? So it's not much. It feels much. And right now, this is since about 22 days or so going on the whole scenario. But we have been breaking out of this downward sloping line. Let's put it on in white here so we can see it a little bit better. And so that, I would say, that is more, we do have at our hands here more a breakout and a retest than anything else. So both things look more bullish than bearish. So I would say this phase is soon to be over, right? Where we are going lower. I would say more likely than not, this phase is over very soon. And I am going to say even more, we are going to jump back into this range, maybe next week, maybe the week after, and then we are going to pump to new all-time highs. And the reason for that is why I believe this is that we do have clearly now on the weekly absolute new all-time high for gold, reaching 3,585 per ounce of gold. Give a little bit of coffee here. And Bitcoin did not really catch up yet, right? So we do have this breakout again. Usually gold front runs Bitcoin. Usually the move comes first out of gold, which is the chart, the candle chart, and then Bitcoin moves, which is a pink chart, right? And this we discussed it a couple of days ago here on the live stream. Usually, not always, but usually that's how it happens, right? So now we have this discrepancy again, just as we had before here, where also gold went up and then Bitcoin took some time and then Bitcoin did move. So the offset between gold and Bitcoin many times is a month or so, right? So gold is right now a week into this breakout, but has been going up out of this consolidation already 3 weeks ago. So I don't think it will take too long until Bitcoin follows here. I think another point is probably to look at global M2 and how global M2 basically is forming a new all-time high or not, right? But that, from a macro perspective, I think is the most important thing. And regarding the altcoins, if we go into the total 2, actually I have total 2 open already, 1 second. If we go into total 2 here, it doesn't look too bad, right? I mean, yes, we got rejected a little bit, but we are already green again. So we are at 1.56 trillion or something like that. We're just sitting under the level on total 2 where we finally complete this this cup and handle pattern, which is the only thing that really matters. If we look at ETH USDT, we do see that yes, we have a rejection here. Let's go a little bit more into the lower time frames. But also here, it looks as if we have found our levels. We still expect from this breakout to go higher here to these levels. And in general, for Ethereum, we expect way higher prices. This would be absolutely insane. No, where are we hitting our head? Exactly at the highs, at the all-time highs, basically, right? So here we do have, we did expect resistance, we got resistance, but hopefully soon we will see the next leg up. So in general, I would say, also if you look at up against BTC, we have a smaller correction here, but I think this is going to continue here, Ethereum against BTC. We are halfway through, so Ethereum should, if everything goes alright, should rally hard again and fulfill this leg up in the Ethereum dominance, so to say, against BTC. So that looks good. Looking to total 3, we see we are not there yet for total 3, right? So without Ethereum, so Ethereum is really the differentiating factor. We are not at the all-time high back yet for the rest of the altcoin market. But I think it will not take much time anymore. I mean, it looks small, but we do have an almost 10% move ahead until we are back at this all-time high here. And we did reach it once. We are constantly challenging it. So if you were to just take this box, we are challenging it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, right? So it's only a matter of time, in my opinion, until we break above and then the good times begin. When that will be, I think the only factor that decides for this is global M2, right? Yeah, quick one for the news. I saw this today, and maybe a warning. I mean, probably not not relevant for you, but apparently North Korean hackers are using fake job offers to hack wallets and steal cryptocurrency. So basically they put the job offers, you click on the job offer, and then you get drained, something like that, right? That just as a hint, don't get hacked by North Korea. That is important. But back to the coins. Now let's check out how the altcoin market is doing. And for now, we do have one coin that is outperforming, and that is Memecore. There's a lot of retail action in this coin. It has a $2.4 billion market cap, and I think the important thing here is to really look at if that is possible for this coin. It's also possible for almost every other coin that has a solid use case and a nice community, right? And you see here, you don't even need to be on many exchanges. This coin is on MaxC, BitGet, Bitmart, BinX, and Kraken, right? So it's not like this coin is on Binance, Coinbase. No, it's not. And still it has 2.5 billion market cap, right? So for everyone who looks at it's unbelievable that this ticker was still available, MUSDT. But okay, that surely helps, right? But yeah, so I think that let's see if we can get more chart history to that, but not much more. Okay, there we go. For example, if you look at the Ecomi, if you look at other coins, right? Something like this is not impossible. In fact, this reminds me a lot of also how OKB pumped. So you see, you have more or less some sideways action, right? From here to where this broke out was a 50% move. So this coin did not do much for a certain period of time, basically being in such a trading range. And then there is the fat breakout, right, happening from nothing to where we are right now. And I mean, that's still okay-ish, right? It's only a 3.5x, but still, right? Do you honestly think Omi will 10 to 50x soon? It's not like 10 to 50x, 10x, yes. 50x, I don't know, right? Oh, let's put it. Was it? No, you have to put Omi. I think I have it open anyways, right? Or did I not? Anyways, USDT. If you take Ecomi, right? It has. What was the move? The full move was a 3x. Okay, so that was only this blip here, basically, that we have on Ecomi. So 1 second. That is. Oops. I would say this is an exercise, by the way, that we can do in a second also. So this is Bitcoin that we can get, that we can hide for now. I would say, so realistically, I would say that at some point we are going to revisit this area here above, right? Which is the 001. And when the zero falls again, let's say the full move would have been 5-6x to that, right? I believe realistically we can definitely revisit the 007 range, and that would be from here a 22x, right? So I do think that this is absolutely possible to revisit that previous area in an alt season. I don't see why, right? I don't see why we should not revisit that area again for Ecomi. Of course, I mean, we have seen already, okay, the selling pressure is still there, but not that hard anymore. So, I mean, look at the volume also, this volume spike that we had here. Now, it's going to be interesting how this week closes in 2 days. And if there is a continuation to the upside, right? Really putting in a macro higher high and then a higher low, right? And that takes some days, weeks to come. But something like you pump again, you take out this, right? And then you come down, and then you put something like this. And then you're already out. But we will see how fast this can go. Let's welcome quickly the rare hodlers here on this Friday stream. Good morning to Bodo. Good morning to G Money representing the rare hodlers here. Everyone else, please smash up the like button if you enjoy this type of content, this channel. I welcome also everyone else. Motili, good morning to you. DZ, what's up, guys? Living Las Vegas says, do Crowcoin. I will. And also Sven is here. Good morning to you as well. So DZ says, I'm so hesitant to exit this coin, but I waited so long since 2021. What catalyst do we have, since I'm really not following closely? Just have my OMI in web wallet for the collectible points. Oh, then you still have your OMI on your app? What was the deadline for that? Wasn't there a deadline for getting this out of the Vivi app? You should look this up. You need to transfer this out of the Vivi app. One question. First of all, let's go to this from DZ first. Then we go to Crowcoin. But what catalysts do we have? So they have launched OMI to Gem. And with OMI to Gem, there is burn mechanic back in place, right? We already see with the leaderboards that they're burning, I don't know, 1 million or so. We will see it a little bit later, but they are burning OMI tokens on every transaction via Stacker. And there are actually, quite some people that are participating in those challenges. So OMI is back in the focus, which is one of the main things that we wanted, right? So I think that this could change the game. Of course, it needs more traction and so on, but I do think. But DZ, look this up with the deadline of transferring out OMI from the app, because I think there was something. I will actually let me try to find this. Let's go here on Foster. I had another tweet open, but doesn't matter. Let's first check this. If wasn't there an article, something for sunsetting like OMI in the web app or something like that? 5 steps to get. I don't know. Maybe one of the other OMI guys can help with that. I'm trying to find it here. What the heck? August 11. I think that was before August even when this happened. So Foster should have posted it, or the Ecomi channel. Or am I getting this wrong? I think there was something like that. You had to move this to Stack or something like that, right? So these are the leaderboards, right? So the rewards are like rank 1, 2, 3 get 1 million OMI, which is not that much, right? I mean, it's not that much right now. Let's put it that way. OMI, okay. OMI wants to go on Binance. Man, I can't find it. OMI to Gem was here. Guys, sorry for that, but I really try to find this, if this is true or not. I am confused now. So here's the OMI to Gem is coming. But is the MCP mechanic at the end or not? Wasn't there something like you have to transfer out or something like that? Yeah, I can't find it right now, but maybe someone can post it or can tag me on Twitter or something like that. Then I can pull it up if you have it. Otherwise, forget what I said and look it up for yourself. Because I think I read this, but this could also have been a scam post or something like that. Yeah, look it up if you have to move your OMI, because I think there was somewhat of a deadline, but I'm not sure. Maybe that was a scam post or something like that. Okay, back to the charts. Let's look at Crow, because we were following Crow closely on this channel, and we did find some resistance levels, so to say, and exactly here Crow ran into resistance at basically the previous upper bull market support, which you can't see because I didn't get rid of the channel of the rare hodler screen, but here we go. So what we would ideally want to see for Crow is that it completes a retest on this level and then continues higher, right? Either that, or somehow it needs to get past this last overhead resistance until the way back to all-time high, which is then $1, which here looks not that much, but if you see that's roughly 4x, right? So, and the volume is crazy also on this breakout. So yeah, in my opinion, this looks really nice. Crow has really been. By the way, what I do see also is you could argue that you have something like this going on, right? Yeah, where you broke out. And then that's your retest. I think Crow looks bullish. I think there's definitely potential with the news that is going on to get to new all-time high at 93, right? Tectonic from Kronos will blow minds. Yeah, and I did say, by the way, there is this VVS Finance. Let's look at this as well. Which, what is the ticker? It's VVS is the ticker. Where is it? There. It's also in the Crow ecosystem, right? And this is basically, we did see. So here, exactly. So here we do have it, right? Actually, I did have a better one. Yeah, that was not it. I did have a better chart. That was not Gate.io, not this. I had another one. I had another chart for that, but anyways, doesn't matter. What is important here is that this looks like a crazy base forming, right? And it wants to break out here. So basically, it has overhead resistance here, and we see that at a lot of coins that have not really broken out. And I made a live stream section about this, that these super low prices usually they attract people. So VVS Finance could be a thing, but not yet. Only on confirmed breakout, right? Not yet. It can go all the way back down, and that would be a huge correction, right? IOTA will melt faces. Let's look at IOTA. There we go. IOTA is like a super dinosaur coin, right? Let's check this out. Yeah, basically, it's the same as many coins that are older than one cycle or that are not born in this cycle, right? You have some massive overhead resistance that basically has history already in the previous bear market, right? And you are having something like a major bull market support, and it's trying to get above it. So it doesn't look that mega bullish just yet, but what you could argue is had form a shoulder here and break out, right? That for IOTA, I could see that, right? Bro, would you please take a look at R0? Could be back at 0.1. R0. I'm not familiar with that even. Oh shit. Oh my god, what the heck. That's not A0, that's 2 zeros already, right? So let's see. Yeah. So no matter where you look, you have this waterfall-like collapse. Price prediction on Crow living Las Vegas. I did. I told you, back to all-time high. 95 cents. Okay, but obviously we don't want to stay at back to all-time high. Price discovery. Let's go back to Kronos. We could maybe put fib extension or something like that on that. But this coin, I don't know what happened here, to be honest. LF, and now I remember LF0. Yeah. This was also, this thing is around since a longer time, right? Yeah. I remember this. In the end from the last bull run. Waterfall collapse. It's the first green candle since a long time. I don't know. Do they still post? $2 obviously possible for Crow. Let me quickly see. Crow is number 19. 8 billion. So you have to see that at $1 you are at 40 billion almost. $40 billion market cap. So then for you to go to $2, you need to put another 40 billion into this coin. It's not impossible, but I would say things have to happen for that, right? I like the more conservative approach. Quickly finishing this A0 here. 1 second. Give me 1 second. I need to do something. I will do with you a quick research into that, okay? A0 crypto. Why is it down so bad? So this ChatGPT paid Model 5, okay? By the way, I'm not sponsored or anything. LF0, okay. Leadership crisis and mismanagement allegations. The biggest blow came when co-founder Adam Gagol resigned, citing serious issues with LF0 Foundation, namely lack of transparency, poor leadership, and unsustainable financial practices, which severely eroded investor confidence. He has since launched a separate project called Common, with its own token and airdrop exclusively for A0 holders, not associated with Foundation. Steep downtrend, investor flight. Okay, so blah blah. Okay, technical and market conditions. So this seems to be the main factor, right? Undermined by shaky fundamentals and technical weakness. So it doesn't look too good for A0. I mean, there is a bounce, but you have to see if this is the prevailing story. Then the question is, what is the rest of the team doing still, right? However, outlook for significant structural issues in the project's leadership, broader investor capitulation. Not too good, right? I mean, this thing is brutally down. I mean, now it's down 98.12. Not the best. Not the best. Look, what's the market cap? Sorry to bring the bad news. Wait a second. Why is this not showing up? What? Alephium. It's not even in the crypto bubbles. What the heck? Okay. One more time back to Crow. So you say, okay, why not $2, right? So one reason is market cap would be roughly 80 billion, a little bit less. It would be 8x 8 million, so 64, right? Yeah, 65 billion. If you say 65 billion is possible, which it absolutely is, because you have to see that Dogecoin in the last bull run reached 80 billion, right? So we have massively more diluted financial conditions, but on the other hand, we also have more coins, way more coins, right? So not every coin will get the love of the big financial institutions, but there is an argument to be made pro Crow, and that is it's place 19. So very likely it's going to be part of these mixed bag ETFs, right? So that is something we need to keep in mind, right? PH knows his coffee. See the frothed milk there? Yeah. Man, I mean, it's a it's the real deal cappuccino for a Friday morning. Absolutely. Actually, I didn't make it myself today. The fiance made it today, the coffee. So it's even better. Actually, she knows her coffee, right? That's the reason why it's so good today. Anyways, there we go. Now, Memecore, right? Memecore, we do see. So for everyone who's like desperate, Memecore is the reason why you can believe if your coin is not like in the deepest trouble hell, like this LF0 coin, right? Protagonist says, thank you for your opinion. I follow a zero, brilliant technology. The rest of the team still cooking. Okay, that's good. If that, and this is something like, don't let yourself discourage from a guy who looked into the coin 2 minutes on AI, right? It's just what I would do first. If I want to look for a coin, what is it? I'm asked. First thing I would consult AI to get a broad overview, but then also I would look at like, for example, what are they doing with regards to social media? Do they have a big following? Can they attract new capital? How much money is necessary for them to 5, 10, 20x, right? Like we just looked with Crow. I think that is important, right? So, by the way, let's open a CoinGecko here. I wanted to quickly look for LF0 A0 on CoinGecko, because now we can see it. Okay, so the fully diluted valuation is only 15 million. So LF0 could obviously do multiples here, no problem, right? Okay, do they tweet? Are they on Twitter? Are they active on Twitter? This would be something that... So they have 200,000 followers. This is really good because they can tap with action into such a community. They are still tweeting. Silence does not mean nothing is happening. Sometimes it's all you hear before the storm. And that's probably the reason why it's green. We do see here August 15, rebuilding trust after setback is hard. Anyone who says otherwise isn't being honest. We are wide awake. So very defensive position here, right? So what needs to come next is a tweet. So this tweet is 2 days ago. What needs to come next is a tweet that actually shows progress on whatever it is, right? I don't know if they have a roadmap already, but here we see they posted like 2-3 times in July, 1 time until now in September. So yeah, let's see. But seems to be it's not dead, right? It's not dead. Privacy coins, they have a bad time at the moment, right? We do see that many times, right? Privacy coins not in the big focus right now. So not dead. 200,000 followers, actually pretty good. They basically are saying they are cooking. They get a lot of traction on this. Look at this, like 100 comments, 400 likes, 35,000 tweet view exposure. So that is really good, right? And they only have $15 million market cap. So if they could bring something to excite the people, then why not have a turnaround there? Let's see quickly A0. So they did not dilute the coin also, right? So we do see a lot of selling coming on this, right? So the sell pressure is still high, but let's just assume from here coming back, wow, that's a lot to come back, right? It's like 20x only to reach this high again. I mean, yeah, sure, you can put a degenerate bet on this coin, but the question is, are there better coins, right? And then coins that have been sold off that much, right? But we did see that also on Ecomi, that Ecomi has been sold off for such a long time, right? So yeah, a lot of things. Now, let's see. Pith had been pumping, now correcting again, big time. Crow still correcting. VeChain correcting, even though it did not pump. But VeChain is also one of these coins, right? A huge community, but it's way larger, obviously. 2 billion right now, market cap. So, but for example, if you compare VeChain to Crow, right? You would get a 4x out of VeChain to reach the market cap. Actually, a 4.2x to reach the market cap of Kronos, right? So only that would put VeChain already at 10 cents, right? So I think there is huge potential in that, and VeChain is one of those as well. When you look them up on Twitter, on X, right? Then you will see they have like beyond 600,000. Let me see here quickly. VeChain. They have 632,000 followers, right? So a lot. But in comparison to that, if you look at A0, which Protagonist says here, they have 200,000 followers. So A0 has a huge following compared to their market cap, right? It's still from the trouble, from the turmoil, and so on, right? But VeChain is a coin that interests me a lot. First ever USDT pool launched on VeChain. This is really, really good, by the way. Oh, this is OneChain saying that. Okay, so OneChain seems to be on VeChain with this pool. But that's really good for VeChain also, right? Staking your VAT, so there's a VeChain staking. Now TVL is going to go up for that, like total value locked, right? This is something. This is what I generally want to see on social media, right? So in that time that this other project, A0, posted one tweet being defensive, VeChain is posting like this all September 3rd, right? All September 3rd. VeChain's Hayabusa DevNet is live. OneChain joins the V-Beta ecosystem. I think this could be something interesting for Rain to cover also, right? Crypto Rain, he's like who's in the Ecomi family. He's a OneChain. I think he's affiliated or associated with OneChain. Now one chain joining the V-Beta ecosystem must be bullish for him, as one chain then gets a lot of eyes from this massive V-chain community. V-chain Hayabusa DevNet, right? 50,000 new wallets with V-chain and 500,000 Vitho burn. Stargate staking sitting at 5.9 billion VET earning passively. The power of web lies in decentralization. So there's so many posts only from the last 2 days, and that's exactly what we want to see, right? A massively active project here. So I am going to be and continuing to be bullish on VeChain, right? Of course, I myself hold quite some VeChain, right? And I still hold it, and I do think that this is going to turn out massively bullish here. We did see twice a move beyond the 5 cents in the last 1.5 years, right? Twice we did see it coming up to even to 8 cents for once here, right? Coming up to 8 cents. I think this is only the beginning, and it shows you and how bullish it can get. VeChain in all that time has never even reached overbought territory, not even close. The highest was not even 60. We see it here, right? So I do believe that VeChain can easily pump to 20 cents again, which is almost a 10x. And then it will be really good when that happens. It will be really good for VeChain. So I do see 8 cents take profit, 20 cents take profit, 45 cents degenerate Moonboy target for VeChain. We are sitting at, let's say, global support. Yeah, this is the big fat support. We will not lose it. We want to come up back to challenge this 5 cent mark, which is very important overhead resistance. And I do think that is when conditions are easing. It should be when conditions are easing. We do see on the macro, we do see the bull cross on the stochastic RSI. It happened already. Let's see. The last times a bull cross happened was when those two pumps happened. Okay, so this was a bull cross here, and the move was 260%. Here was a bull cross for VeChain, and the move was 330%. Now we have a bull cross, and the move so far is only 28%, okay? So we will very likely see the next pump coming out of this bullish cross. And then we have one more bull cross here, which is the basically putting in the bottom despite this wick. So I do think good things are coming for all these coins. And no matter what coin you are looking at, as long as there's community, as long as there's fundamentals in place, as long there's some, it doesn't matter if you're looking at Algorand or Uniswap or Celestia or whatever, right? The Graph, Renda, Floki, there will be a time, right? By the way, Floki, we do have some people constantly looking at Floki in our community here. So Floki USDT. There we go. Floki is, it seems that it already has found its support, right? So if you just look at Floki here, right, did correct quite substantially, but now already coming up slightly. Seems that Floki has found its macro support and is ready to go back to the all-time high, which it already challenged here. And by the way, what unfolds there on all-time high territory is basically the same as almost every coin is showing this tendency, depending on how far they are in the food chain, right? So we do see that the total 2 is basically forming this, the total 3 is forming this, others is forming this, and depending on how much down the food chain we are with our altcoin, this is closer or not so close to the breakout, right? So, which is exactly representing the money flow for altcoin seasons, right? So Ethereum first, and the large caps like Solana. And Solana did not run yet, so we have to see, things are moving really slow. But for example, Sol, if you look at Solana, right? What did I just say? All of them have the same pattern, right? This, and then this. And they are either further or not so far progressed in closing this. So Sol did not yet break out, and it did not outrun yet Ethereum, for example, in the later phase, right? So since Ethereum is running, Sol is bleeding into that, right? Basically, since April, since ETH bottomed and started running, Sol is coming down. Before, Sol was outperforming, right, against ETH, and against Bitcoin also, right? Against Bitcoin consolidating, there's probably going to be a massive breakout soon. And I think it will coincide with when Sol is closing this gap here. We are at we are sitting above $200, and we expect this then to, on breakout, to go to like $500 or something like that, right? So where I'm getting at with this is we need, before we can expect all other altcoins to run, we need the large caps to perform, right? So the biggest coins. And for Solana to double, which 500 would be, massive amounts of money need to flow into Solana, right? We need over 100 billion to flow into Solana to make this happen, right? But Solana is one of the largest coins, and it can definitely happen, right? Or look at Sui, like Sui, 12 billion, right? These coins, they will pump next, right? They will do the Ethereum. But first of all, we need one more move out of Bitcoin, one more move, massive move out of Ethereum to get to these levels. And all other coins will follow only after that, right? Coins like Memecore, which we're frequently following here, only 18 million market cap. Of course they are not doing so well because it's not yet their time to shine. Let's look at Memecore also at our big fat trading range, even without looking. I can already tell you, big fat trading range, here it is, our predictions. So of course, such a coin can also pump into the 1 billion range, right? In a bull market with the right narrative and timing. Narrative is gaming. Let's see. Let's see how it develops, right? But I am extremely bullish on that. And to be honest, if this goes lower still, then I will load up extremely hard on this coin. One more coin, Devi, that we like on this channel. Seems to have found support where it needs to find support, exactly at this. I remember when this came down here, we said that in the worst case it could go to 40 cents. It did wick down below to even 30 cents, but it has found support on top of the 40 cents anyways. So, and once again, what pattern do you see? A not so far progressed version of this, right? It's everywhere you look, you'll find the same pattern, and that makes me really bullish. Yeah. Almost everywhere. If you look at Ecomi, then it looks a little bit different in that sense. But for most coins, it looks like this. Anyways, guys, What else? Life is good. Absolutely. Life is good. But I think for now, smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel, notifications on, have yourselves a great Friday, a productive Friday, and wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon, a great weekend to each and every one. And these are the last weeks that we need to survive until the outperformance of all altcoins. Let's keep that in mind. And with that, see you soon. Bye.